Hello, everybody. Hello again. Um, just say hi in the chat will be nice. Um, Inner world. We talk about its inner world as a twin flames, as a soul connections. But let me give you a little bit about the inner world in you as a human first, before we go on into the spiritual things. For so the inner world, that is a that part where the soul lives, where your soul lives inside of you, the things that you build in there, in your mind with your soul. And that inner world is, you have this visions, you have these dreams, you have these things that throughout life you build, you demolish, you upgrade. That is like your own house in there, that internal world. In that internal world, you set boundaries or parameters or frames or limitations of what is and how it needs to be. And a basic of that internal world inside of you that you built, which is begins from very early on in childhood. There is so many other things in there. Okay, you have things that goes on, and uh, you get into. If you want to learn this, that is a great animation movie, Inside Out, um, to look at it. But that internal world have a lot of power in you and over you. That internal world helps you in life. That internal world, that is a your soul power in there. You have these things that determine what you like and what you dislike. So whatever you like in inside, in your inner world, that's what you like in the outer world. Same as a dislike, same as it. Pretty much everything in your inner world. So it's very crucial to understand your inner world in yourself. That it's who you are in reality. You know, you might be in the body and all this, but the body is controlled from this inner world. And that inner world, it has everything in there. It has positions as a work, relationships, marriage, intimacy, finances, work, friends, relationships, everything. Everything it is in there and that inner world. And throughout the time in your evolution that goes on, you learn new things. So once you learn the new things, they're coming up these new things, and you want to do an upgrade, or there was something false that you realize you will demolish first in your internal world, and then you will build something new. That is a part of your evolution and human level. Okay. For example, back in the days, my first car, I couldn't handle any more than this. I bought a very small hatchback that was built in 1985. I bought it for $500, and that was a basically die after 3 months. But that was it for it. But down the road, you learn how to upgrade after and after. I'm just giving you an example with cars, because pretty much everyone drives in these days, and there is this inner world of you having a dream car. If you have this inner dream car, what would you do to get this dream in reality? Pretty much everything, right? And how big you want to have this dream car. It is about you to get it, to you somehow to get it, to sometime to do it. But the inner world, if was built and strong foundations and strong things, you will survive in you. That internal world, you will determine who you allow to enter your inner world. And hi, Lisa. Thank you for saying hi. Um, so that internal world determines the path of life for you, and you build that. And according to what you built there, you trying to build or duplicate the same thing in the outer world. So, for example, when you're getting into your first relationships, you build this first relationships on the base of what you built in inside. And during the this relationships, doesn't matter good, bad, whatever the outcome is, you gain an experience, and again of that experience, you changing something within the inner world. If that is a negative thing, you demolish your inner world. If that is a positive thing, you build your inner world. In this inner world, you will go back every time there is some issues, every time there is a crashes, every time that it is a failure. So, for example, if you have failure in life, uh, everything kind of like breaks down. You're starting from zero. Okay, that's mean that whatever you built from the inner world and the outer world crashes. Why? Because for some reason there wasn't stable environment in your internal world to create a stable environment in the outer world. Okay. Um, Great start to my morning listening to you, Dio. Oh, hey, Ray. Oh, welcome back. Welcome back, everybody, if you watched the previous video. Um, so, uh, if you have this internal world uh, and dreamed, and you dreaming about something, and you keep that dreams alive, you keep upgrading that dream, you keep building that dream. The best people who talk about this um, building that life, I would suggest you Anthony Robbins for it. He's a great motivational speaker of how to build yourself or how to remove things from yourself. And he says one thing: it's important you to get it and write it down on the paper. Whatever you write it down on the paper, if that is a bad habit, you will go ahead and write it down. That bad habit that you want to remove from yourself. Okay, just kind of like because was listening back in the days, way too much out of him. That's what this motivational things. You put it in the internal world. What you put it in there, that's what comes. How you feed that internal world, though? You feed it to positive movies or books that you read, or music that you listen, or things that you get into. For example, I put in my internal world a lot of different cultures. So that was kind of like improvement in there in my internal world. Different style or types of music. Why? Because music is like water. More different waters you have, the better the flow will be, right? Um, so this internal world works with your soul. Your soul basically feels the vibrations and is like, I feel like has to be. That's the way it should be. And you build that. And during of this building of that internal world, works with your soul. Your soul works with the universe, and you build that. Okay, and when you build that, the universe says like, okay, I will introduce you to someone to you to build with. And usually that happens when you meet your soulmate, twin flame, or that partner in you to build in for. But if your base wasn't right, you'll crash. or the person you bring in with it, and you begin to build within your internal world with a relationship in the internal world inside with somebody else, and you just build it out of false or things, your internal world will crash. It will crumble to dust. And that's what some of the relationships within the soulmates twin flames, when this dreams, hopes, and opportunities comes in, and it was demolishing this internal world, you have to look at the reasons why that internal world was demolished. Maybe there was something you wasn't built right. Maybe something you didn't build right to you. Maybe back in the days there was this base that you started off of the wrong foot, and everything that you laid out wasn't right for. So, oh wow, Lisa, thank you. Lisa just hit me on the Facebook so I can give and take, have a little chit chat with you one on one, so I can kind of like give it back. I'll appreciate for that super chat money. Thank you. That inner world. That inner world could be based out of a culture. You got to be very careful, because when you begin to get this culture things for it, the culture things possess two things. Okay, it has the positive traits of what survived through the world. Those culture things, those culture values, they survived the time. They been proven over the generations and generations and generations that they're right. But there is also a cultural values add to it. They're attached with manipulations, with something that it has been like this, so it has to be like this. Okay, so you have to look at it. If inside of you there is a culture problem, what you have to bring in and what you have to bring out of this old stuff for it, that culture environment that grew up. If it's a religion base, you have to look at that religion and you see what the values are that applies to you, and what is that it's something that it shows up, that manipulations part. Because the cultures, the religions, the books, and everything else has two sides. One of them it's manipulation, the other one it's inspiration. uh, I'm looking at you that take a look what you need to get in order to build that internal world to it. The most motivational or inspirational speakers, they talk about the one side, but they also talk about the other side. We're talking about looking at the two faces of the coin again. So if your internal world it's built on this religion, see what else is messing. Also your environment. Okay, your environment where you grow up, and your environment that you were raised as teenager, and your environment that you grow up when you begin to build family. What is those three are? Okay, because the first one, you built your internal dreams on the base of the book, the dreams, the stories that they were read to you, because you liked a certain story or legends for a bedtime story, and there was a story that you liked so much. The reason you liked it so much is because you feel it that this is. And somehow that story, you build it in there, in this internal world. And you're looking that internal story to be as in teenager years. Okay? And then as a teenager years, you still believe and look for that story to be in your marriage, in your relationship. That's how you kind of like, even if you are realizing or don't realizing, that story right there, it's built within. That story, it's there. Okay? Inside of your internal world, it's built with your soul because you feel this magic insight. You build this situations of insight for it. So, how you you build with the things that comes in, like the informations, the energy, the knowledge. Why you demolish things? You demolish things because you figured out something wasn't right. Okay, and when you demolish things, if you watch the movie uh, Inside Out, when you go down in the hole, some people, the damage is so bad that they stay in that hole down in the bottom, and it's hard to get up. And you have to go back to your dreams as a kid to get up back and enjoy joy. That's how you feel like you have to do it again. And doing through this process, okay, you will figure it out that every time your world is destroyed, you actually have a chance to build something better. You have a chance to do something great than before. Basically, when you get downloads from the universe, you improve something and you're like, wow, that was a new knowledge, that was a new things. Now for me it is about time to get upgrade. I have to upgrade myself. I have to do things better on this or that, whatever you're working on it. Okay, whatever is your focus. So about the focus within the internal world, you have a lot of focuses. Okay, I mean from daily activities to all the way into your spiritual activities. Okay, when you get up in the morning, go to work, and then come back, cook, clean, or help out, or whatever is your situation, and then time for you. So when you build this, if you focus on only on one thing, okay, then you don't have energy and things to build the rest. So you built one thing and you're focused on only that thing. But if you said, I'm going to go through this relationship, I have to improve this, just make a little improvement, I'm going to do improvement. And this, how I can make improvement on that. On the other issue, I improve this, then you little by little, you're upgrading everything. And once you destroyed everything, you will feel like you lost certain abilities, certain capabilities, certain things. Okay, don't feel sorry about those things. There's going to be a new things that comes up. Maybe not the same things. Maybe they will be similar to this, but they're going to be a brand new. The problem is that sometimes the people get in, and once this world is destroyed, then they stay down. They stay down there, and they don't build. And that's just when you know that the person is in depression, the person is in like situation and things like this. And the psychology, it is because the person had no boundaries. That's what crashed. Some of you, though, will learn over the time that, for example, when you were in the marriage, you didn't know about anything about inner world. You didn't know anything about all that stuff there deeply from within you. And you got married. Okay, you got married. You went in like everybody, copy and paste. You went to the bank. You get a loan. You bought a house. You have two kids, and you got the things in the house, and you haven't married, right? Are you happy? No. Why? Why are you not happy? I mean, come on. You built what everybody else has built. According to everybody else, you have this good house, you live in a good country, you have a good job, and you happy? No. You're like, why are you not happy? Your internal world doesn't resonate with the outer world. You build your outer world depends on the view of somebody else as competing with the Joneses. Okay, what neighborhood you live in? If you're in the United States, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, you have to have this kind of car. You have to show off, and you have to time out. Why you're not happy? At some point, you comes in and your internal world crashes because the outer world it's crashed because the internal world was based off values of somebody else, not yours. Somebody else's wanted to build your internal world, and what we are calling it programming. The programming of the society, the programming of the culture, maybe the programming from parents, friends, influence of the social status, and so on. You're not happy because that internal world of yours is not happy. So what do? You demolish everything. You demolish everything. You say, you know what, screw this up. I'm going to build something new. I'm going to build something better. I'm going to build this on my own. And the only person I'm going to allow to comes into this internal world is the person I'll decide into it. They have to reach a certain things. You set up healthy boundaries. Now, those healthy boundaries is the wall. Imagine that you built your this Chinese wall in your town with the doors, and it's got one door. And if that's the door of the paradise, that it has to requires everything, and only the person who meets the requirements of paradise can walk inside of it. Otherwise, there is going to be a people that you let in. You kind of like open it up, and they comes in and they destroy. They destroy your garden. They destroy things. They destroy your internal world, and then they go. They just take. Like for instance, back in the days, because there's a lot of ruins here around me, and we look at it. It's destroyed palaces. It's destroyed capitals. And guess what? What it's missing? The stones. The stones are not there. But you go like 20 or 30 kilometers around there and you see some of those stones. Some of the guys, they built the frames for their houses way back in the days. So somebody went in, destroyed the capital, they took the supply, they took this stones and they built the houses. So now you have to be understanding these portions of your internal world because the soul lives there, your soul. Okay, your soul wants all the time to match what's in the inner world, to match it on the outside, to match it on the outside, and you feel like this is your mission. Yes, you do have a mission. This is why did you came for. Okay, but it's very crucial your values of what you put in there. They come from the spirit in you, and the spirit is connected to God, to the Holy Spirit. Okay? The spirit gives the power to the soul. And the soul builds the internal world, and then you focus on building the internal world and outside. And that's what this is. And I want you to take time and see what your dreams, your hopes and opportunities, your love, what do you picture it in there? And if you have some issues, go see them, go face them. maybe something rumbled through the dust, and you kind of like stay down in the hole. Get out of that hole. Go build your world. So I'm gonna take some few questions right now. If you guys have so many questions for it. Um, if you guys want me for something in particular to go over and talk, put some request or message me or whatever. I will try to do some more videos like this. I want to give you a little bit of heads up about me. Um, I think that next month I will have another surgery, so I'm probably gonna be out for a little bit. Um, and you're welcome, Alyssa. Mission. Would you look at the North Node? Uh, yeah, the North Node could be. The North Node could be. But it all depends of what the North Node aspects are. The North Node, it gives you clues, gives you positions. You choose to have that North Node when you are born because of things that are going to be the hardest thing you will do. Okay, you don't want to do the things that are easy, because when the things are easy, they're sleazy. Okay, there is no evolution. If there is no problem, no learning. Okay, and that's why the North Node, it's going to be this hard thing to do. Ray, what was your North Node? I think so. You said was Capricorn on the previous video. And the mission is you to be happy, you to be in love. That is the mission. You could have a mission that's your personal mission, okay? Something you do for your self evolution. But you can also have a mission that it's out to the society, okay? You're the black sheep. You guys probably watched the video of the black sheep, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. You have something to do with others, so it's all red and white. Aquarius, the 10th house. Oh, so you're gonna be an innovator at work, and huge rebellion that could possibly benefit the society. Do you have a planets in the 10th house, right? You probably don't like bosses. You don't agree with bosses. I mean, if the bosses, they gotta be with you. You give them a new ideas, you give them a new solutions, and they're gonna be like, no, no, no. But if they have a brain, they will listen to you, because your innovation process, your innovation way of thinking, that it's out of the box and out of the ordinary, that could have succeeded. Maybe not every time, but I will give a good 80, 90% of the time. We have no planets. So if you do not note it is there is no planets, then you're probably looking for a person who it is has something in Aquarius to kind of like give you a boost for that North Node. Okay. Um, Maybe something related with Jupiter or something that could be. But you have to learn that when you give the ideas, maybe somebody else benefits from these ideas of what you presented at work or to the society. Um, and you have to look, if you're in a partnership or soul relationship, if you want to understand if this person helps you to come solve that karma, if that person has a planet that it's very close, like from within 5 to 7 degrees off that either each direction. Okay, so for example, if you have like for example, my north node is in 3 degrees of Capricorn. Somebody has Jupiter. It's usually the one who helps for the growth and help and doubles the things. I will go there. If you have a Jupiter close to your north node, that could talk about like you give them, they have to give back. But sometimes it's like give and take, have to be understood. Okay. They have to give you, but you got to be careful. They may also take. Okay. For example, if there is. Um, and 4. So look of the charts. If, for example, it's Saturn, there's going to be a lot of involving with learning. If there is a Mercury, there's going to be through a lot of talks, maybe something that you can create, you can make something new. If that is for example, Pluto, that is going to be something to do with transformation. That's something to do with beloved Empress. It's hard to answer a call of the soul in life once you have so many responsibilities. Here's the thing about responsibilities. You can't manage the responsibilities. Okay, you can manage the responsibilities and you can do things. You can either find excuses or resources. So, for example, if you're a female, come back home at work, you already been worked 8 hours. You can get your phone. You can put something motivational to you. You can put your headphones or earbuds, whatever you have in you. You can begin to work, do your homework around the house, and at the same time listen to the things that you need to do. So that way you learning the multitasking. Okay, you get your headphones and you just listen something, and you're preparing a dinner or washing dishes or do laundry, or during these processes that not involve people, you can actually do something else. I learned that back in the days. I was studying for a college, but at the same time, when I had enough of studying electricity and electronic drawings and all that crap, then I went out and I was listening to Robbins for like break. Okay, listen something positive. Even till today, for example, when I do something to a video, so I took a little break of watching the videos and I go and I look at it, some quotes, some of the quotes I posted on the Facebook, and look at it. Challenging and supporting to advocate for children. It's all about how old is your children. For example, if your children is below age of 7, yes, you have more responsibility in there. But if they are above the age of 7 and 8, you now have to learn and they can be independent. Okay, not depending on you. But if they depending on you and they continue to depending on you, then you have to do changes. because maybe in the first 7 years, if you teach them to you to be always giving it to them, give, 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 there is no back, okay? Give and take, there is none. So you're basically creating what they call it in the psychology. You create handicapped kids. They cannot do the things on their own. Okay, what I mean is like, mom, bring me some water, and there you go. They are now 8 or 9 years old, and you bring them the water. They're big enough to go to the sink and go get the water themselves. But because you spoil them to teach them that you have to provide for them, then carry go. The things are like this. Now, if it's in your job, okay, if it is in your job, your responsibilities with kids, how many hours are you there, Ray? Okay, so you're 8 hours there. So I will put like how long it takes you to go to work. This is very good thing. I'll tell you the guys that now with Ray here, we're gonna. That's how I have a feeling. Ray, how long it takes you to go to work, to travel to work? 1 hour. Okay, so when you travel to work, you drive in a car, or you're taking a bus, whatever it is. What can you do during this 1 hour? It doesn't matter. If it takes you to go to work 1 hour, then it's going to come back 1 hour. So basically, you have 2 hours in there that you can invest in yourself by listening to the self-improvement things. Okay, you can develop these things inside of you. Those are 2 hours that maybe you should shut off the radio, shut off the music, and invest within you. If you're stuck in the traffic, maybe it's going to be even more. Maybe you don't have to listen through the whole time, but even if it is the half of the time, right? Yeah, there you go. You listen YouTube. That's what I also do. I listen YouTube certain things, and when you invest in yourself, pay attention that the 21 days from you deciding to invest in you, and you listen a specific videos for self-improvement, watch yourself after the 21 day, because it takes 21 days to develop a habit. And after the 21 day, you want more, and you begin to see the benefits. Then, after the first 30 days, you're gonna make one evolution, and the real results, okay, the real results, they will comes in 90 days after you really begin to do that self-improvement. A lot of the people, they don't understand that the self-improvement takes time, because everyone in this crazy fast-paced society, they want it now. It doesn't happen that way. Investments doesn't create earnings in the now. It's not like you go into the bank and the bank's gonna tell you, "Hi, we give you this rate of return on your money now," and you're like, "Oh shit!" No, you invest your money in the bank for the long-term gains. But if you apply this to yourself, then your self-improvement portion, that self-improvement will show up the 90 days. And the real success will be in the next 90 days. So for example, if you reach a result that it's, let's say, like 10% of what you put as a goal, then after the second 90 days, you should be able to reach 20+% of the goal of the self-improvement is. This is called doubling the numbers. The next 90 days will be 40. And then the next 90 days, okay, will be 80. The question is most of the people don't get to that 80%. And most of the people, they don't even get to the 160%. That's how they learn to become a financially independent. You guys gonna say, well, Dio, why'd you not do it? Yes, that is my problem. Certain things you can't build yourself. You need somebody else, and it's very important how you build things for it. So if you're by yourself, you gotta look at it. One bird doesn't make a nest in spring. It takes two. You will understand what I'm talking about. Dio, how much do you charge for chart readings in US dollars? $75. It takes like hour and a half, even a little bit more sometimes. Depends of the what the things are in the chart. Also, I ask the people to have questions, but they not relate to the future. They are relate to look at it, the inner things. Okay, because if I tell you the future, you're not doing the work, then you come back to me. It's like this deal, this didn't happen. And I'm going to ask you, did you do your work? You're going to say, well, no. Then yeah. Doing the astrology so you can see the things within your internal world. Okay, so you can kind of like fix the things there to begin there, because everything begins there in your internal world. Okay, that's what this is for. So permanent one, hello, how are you? Thanks for coming in. So this internal world, that are you reading via Zoom or record it? I'm doing it through Facebook Messenger. You can actually download it for yourself, a screen recorder app or something, and you can record the whole video. You can have it to yourself. But I don't record it, because if I record it, then it's extremely, it has to be compressed, and then I have to go through the Google Drive, because that kind of amount of information, it's like almost you're trying to get like 2 gigabytes of something that you're trying to send that over to somebody. And most of the internet providers, they don't even have abilities to do that long thing. So I will suggest you, Ray, if you want a reading, message me your things, your data on Facebook, and we'll set time to do it. And throughout your computer, you can get a desktop recorder app, and while we're talking, you can record everything that was on the screen. So that's how it's going to help you. So I don't trust too much Zoom. I use Linux, and I have issues with the Zoom even when I set it up for it. But I'm okay with the Facebook app, the Messenger. I've been using it for years, and so far it's been working great. For astrology reading, you need your date, your time, your place of birth, which is your town and the country when you are born. The date and the time Those are kind of like the main things. For specifically the time, if you don't know your time though, that's kind of like I have people who don't know their time for various reasons. I look at the chart only on the base of planets in the zodiac signs and what the configurations is. So I won't be able to determine your ascendant the way it is, and I cannot give you the information that it's crucial for you for the houses, because without the houses, it's kind of like a halfway job. But the information's still going to be very good with the aspects between the planets. So that's how the ancients were able to create everything. So you guys can kind of like message me on the Facebook and send me some stuff for your charts. Any questions you guys have as far as the inner world thing? Anything that bothers you, everything that you need to kind of like go over it? Things that I missed. Okay, the inner world, when you meet your soulmate or your twin flame. So you have to understand that during this intense communications, okay, within your soulmate and a twin flame, see their internal world and your internal world, it's kind of like a similar, but they're not. And now when you guys getting into this energy things, the one wants this, the other one wants this, he has this vision, that vision. You need to understand that during this process, there's going to be some clashes within the internal worlds. Why? Why there is going to be some clashes within the internal worlds? There's going to be some clashes because the ego is there. See, your ego is also building parts of your internal world, and both of you. Okay, I want these things to be that way. I want things to be that way, and now there is this internal conflict within the inner world, and one way or another, the separation process, it is because of this demolishing of the inner world. Those are the damages that of the ego. Okay, what crumbles in there is because things are built on the ego, not based on the soul. Whatever it's based out of the soul, it stays there, or it's going to be kind of like shining through, getting into. Okay, so yeah, permanent. I will tell you. Yeah, very good questions. Just let me finish again this. So a lot of the separation process within twin flames is to realize what is in the inner worlds and what has to be rebuilt if it is. But if the one person destroys the inner world of the other person, then there's going to be a lot of damage that needs to be fixed, a lot of healing that needs to be go on. Usually there is a internal damage on both sides that I see back into it. But that is also could be only on one side. It all depends of the give and take. Okay, but if there was a give and take, the one leads to the other, and the other leads into the other. The main problem for soulmates and twin flames is that there's going to be a point of time that they're going to have this combined inner world that they have to build. Build properly that internal world, they're going to have this internal oneness, and that internal oneness is going to be transferred to the internal oneness and outside. It's going to be materialized. Okay, so whatever it's in the inner world, that it's in the outer world. Okay, so that's what I was thinking I was missing. What is the connections between dreams and inner world? Dreams coming in a few ways. Dreams that comes in from fears. Dreams can comes in as I directions. Dreams can comes in for, you might don't realize it, but there is something throughout the day. It's kind of like create a little shock in you, and then all of a sudden you go back and you're dreaming. So, for example, if you started a new job and you so much stress about that new job, you go back at night and you dreaming about it, and that's what this is. It's got a reflections for it. Uh, the dreams within the internal world, that it's also connect with childhood. When you, when your mom or dad they read you a bedtime story, and you begin to dream and fantasize about this, that this is what happens to you, this is what you want, and you have that dreams inside of you. And then what's happening is over the time, uh, in subconscious level, okay, maybe when you're the first time you feel towards good towards a boy or a girl or whatever it's your case, might be that dream might becomes then. But the dreams that you're dreaming during sleep and the dreams that you have in life, those are two different things. But the dreams that you want to have with you within the inner world, it is what your soul wants, what your soul feels like has to have. So, for example, during the your evolution, your dreams are upgrading, and when our dreams are upgrading because you're growing, okay, so is your dreams upgrading too. So, for example, there was this quote of it was this famous artist for that he posted, and he said, he said like this, that I wish everyone in this world they could become famous and feel too rich to understand that this is not the happiness they were looking for. And that's what I'm talking about, upgrades, that you dream about something, then you achieve it and you understand that wasn't the thing, that was not your dream. For example, my dream was to become a maintenance manager. Well, I become like this, and guess what, it wasn't what I thought it was gonna be. Okay, I see the corporate politics and all that crap, and I'm like, I'm out of it. But I was happy that I reached it. I was happy, there was satisfactions in me, but it wasn't what I thought it was in my dreams. So my dreams crashed because they were based on the reality. Once I face the reality, then I have a reality check and I'm like, oh shit. So the house that was built in my internal world about this job, about this maintenance manager position, crumbled to dust, got destroyed. Why? Reality. And the reality checks with the dreams. Too. Any other questions that you guys have? If not, we just gonna be finishing here. I guess permanent. I hope that that helps you to answer that question. Just wait and see here a little bit. what you guys have. Okay, permanent. Lisa, I'm not sure if it was a Keanu Reeves. I saw it today on my Facebook, and I will see about the things who wrote it. I will probably post it and you guys are welcome. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching me, and thank you for supporting me. I really appreciate it, you guys. And I will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going to talk about the next week, what's coming up, what's going on in the sky, what's going on in the astrology, and then we'll see if everything goes away. There is going to be some live video with Lee Patterson. I hope that's kind of like the setup is, but we don't know if the things with Sherry and Lee is going to go okay, or if it's going to be busy or something, but that's just a plan, okay? You didn't hear that from me. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Be love.